Hi, this is Michelle Rumschlag, Naturalist, and welcome to Virtual Experiences with the Hancock Park District. It's Friday, so we're hitting the trails. Today you're joining me at Oakwoods Nature Preserve. Oakwoods has grown over the years, and we're up to 227 acres here at this preserve. And one of our later additions is the Dold area, which we have Dold Lake, which is behind me here. And this property is kind of located just off that north parking lot. So maybe if you haven't been back, I encourage you to walk on back. There's a great trail called the McKinley Trail that takes you almost all the way around the lake, that you have to back up and kind of go where you started. It's also where we do our archery programs. You can come out and do some fishing, kayaking, canoeing. Again, a great place to come out and see wildlife. We've got lots of birds flying around, some chimney swifts this afternoon, lots of dragonflies, and also, of course, fish and turtles that live in the lake. And one of those I wanted to talk about today, we actually have one as our resident animals, and that's the painted turtle. And so they are the most common and widespread of the native turtles in North America. And I'm sure you've seen these before. They have that bright orange on the side of their shell, and even on his legs there. And then by his head, kind of by his eye, and if he sticks his head out, he's even got two dots at the top of his head there. So it's like someone took and painted them with a paintbrush, is how they get their name. There are different subspecies of painted turtle, and I believe ours is a Midland. That's the one that lives in our range here in Ohio. And how you can tell is by the bottom part of his shell, and I'll gently just lift him up. So he's got a little bit of marking underneath there, whereas the eastern subspecies would be all plain. I'm saying he, and it is a he. There's a couple ways to tell the difference between male and female with the painted turtles. Males are usually smaller than the females, but a lot of it's by the claws, and that's probably the easiest. So on his front legs, his claws are longer, and then the female would have longer claws on her back feet. Now think, she's digging the hole to lay the eggs, so that's why she's got those longer claws there. And then also underneath their shell, females will have a flatter bottom shell, and then he's going to have just a little bit of a curve. So again, it's probably the nails that's going to be the easiest for you to identify if you have a male or a female. They were showing us his nails there. So just like all turtles, he pulls arms and legs inside, and even wraps his tail around there for us. But he's still kind of exposed. But that shell is really hard. There's not many animals that have enough jaw strength to be able to bite through and break that shell. So most predation is happening with the painted turtles while they're young and while they're in the egg stage. So think raccoons, skunks, foxes, snakes. When the babies get in the water, think larger fish, snapping turtles, and that's how they're getting eaten. So the female will lay the eggs anywhere between 200 and 600 yards from water. And she will do that sometimes twice during the summer. She'll have 2 clutches of about 10 eggs each. So she'll bury them and she'll leave. With most reptiles, there is no parental care. So the eggs are kind of on their own. So when they hatch, they already have that instinct to know how to get to the water if they're here by Dold. And once they get in the water, can hopefully live, but again, there's a lot of those predators living there. So with our turtle, this was somebody's pet that we took, and so he won't be released into the wild because we've been feeding him and taking care of him for a few years now. So if you do want to have a turtle as a pet, I say do your homework. He can live to be 55 years old. We're not sure how old he is, so we're going to have him for quite a while. So you want to look to see if this is something that I really want to invest all of that time into, because it's going to be over your lifetime to take care of that turtle. A lot of times what happens is people get turtles when they're small, even smaller than him, and they're cute, and then they start getting larger and they just don't want to take care of them anymore, and they bring him here to the parks. Well, we don't want you to do that. That's against our rules and regulations, and you're introducing a turtle that might not be native to this area, or even if it is, might have some kind of germs or diseases that you're now introducing to the native turtles here. So again, if you want to come see the turtles, come out to the parks, check out the lakes. Once we open up, come back to the Discovery Center and take a look at our turtles. And also leave what's here. We don't want you to take one of these guys home and kind of raise him as one of your pets. So thanks for joining us today. As a reminder, join us on Monday at 1 o'clock for our Discover Stories, and have a great day.